Welcome back to Dream Does Game. Dreamed here playing some more Banner Saga. Let's resume. Just leaving Eineroft. Yeah, that's that last section. I mean, shorter, but definitely more intense. Series of events that can unfold there. I mean, we lost Fassol, who I liked, and actually I think I did that exact same thing in the last run through, and yeah, I completely forgot about that, and so it's like, oh no! A scout returns with a nearly frozen child. I almost stepped on her in the snow. Looks like she must have been running from something, he says. Patches of blue model her pale skin, but her chest rises and falls ever so slightly. Just carrying her along could kill her in a state like this. Could be in danger here, points at another. Keep moving, but let the healers tend to her. Stop the caravan for a rest and tend. Stop and look for other survivors. I can't leave a little child. We'll stop the caravan for a rest and tend to the girl. Caravan tents rise. A fire is built beside the girl, who is covered in furs and ointments. Progress is slow, but soon as she's well alive enough to swallow water and some heated broth. When you wake the next day, healer tells you the girl should be fine in time. Nice. Wastes a day, but we got some improvement, and, well, I can't leave a little girl out there in the snow. A gaunt man and woman approach the caravan, hands held high. "A word, friends," the man says. "We are poor farmers down on luck." The woman hits him and says, "We're outlaws, plain and simple. 10 of us, and we'll help you in a fight for some food up front. What are your crimes?" Misunderstandings. Meat houses are confusing. Never know when you've drank your share. The woman hits him again and says, "We've stolen, killed a few when we had to. Skills that might benefit you out here." I like the woman. I don't like the guy. You know what? Join us, but you'll be watched. The two quickly shuffle to supply wagon as 8 more bandits emerge from the wilderness. They gorge themselves on salted fish and cheese, taking time to thank everyone. After eating, they politely keep to themselves. 10 fighters. For 3 supplies? I mean, doesn't seem the worst thing in the world, although I don't know if we'll make it on our supplies. Oh, uh-oh. When the music starts, you know something's happening. It appears that large figures following from the direction of Ironoft. Oddlife watches intently before finally saying, "They have a cart. I can hear it." You slow to get a better view and spy a small caravan of Jarl. Eventually, they catch up. Oh, Ubin! Alright. Greetings, Ivor. It's been quite a while since we talked, hasn't it? I know you, Ubin. Never imagined you'd be the one to defy the king. What made you leave? Someone had to. What do you mean? Bellower is heading this way. Already? How is that possible? A group of Jarl from Wormtoe showed up around the back of Ironoft the long way. Bellower and his army chased them across the summer path, they said. Past Wormtoe? That doesn't make sense. Bellower was at the bridge. He must have doubled back after that serpent appeared. Oh, we fought on the bridge. He led half his forces around to approach Ironoft from behind. The attack on the bridge was a feint? Don't let anyone tell you the Dredge aren't clever. Ironoft will fall within a day. Maybe not. He's following you. I thought one of you might know why. Exchange nervous glances, but nobody speaks up. Must be me then. There's something I don't know. That's quite a grudge he's holding if he's coming for you, Ivor. Doesn't matter. Our only chance is to get to Sigrholm. Juno will know what to do. We'll join you. I bring supplies and warriors, and my friend Gunnolf here bears a heavy sword. I believe he'd be happy to swing it for you. Sweet. Gunnolf? From what I remember, that's the extremely strong Jarl. Massive amounts of, and he does the whirlwind attack. We had him before when we first started. The caravan stops at a split in the road. Ahead, the path leads to Sigrholm veers off into the hills, which are now swimming with familiar black shapes. Dredge that way too? The summer path leads straight to Sigrholm, while taking the main road will add several days. They're every way by now, replies Ubin. I suggest we go around past Hoxton. I trust Ubin on this over anyone else. So we could start cutting a path through the dredge. That seems extremely dangerous. I mean, as much as I want to get the renown for that, the feeling that the amount that you'd be saying is like, all right, you know, let's just go through here. Do we want to go and fight and just get a ton of renown? I mean, no, let's go around. I'm not even gonna bother. I hate to say it, Ivan, but I'm not willing to walk into swarms of dredge anymore. Juno will have to wait. Return to work long round around Hoxstock instead. And hoping you save lives in the process. Yeah, I want to give a little bit of renown. That's to say, hey, you didn't fight, so here you go. Yeah, the feeling that going through there is just not a good idea. Generally, if you're presented the option to cut through swaths of units and things like that, you're probably going to lose somebody. Like on the bridge, we lost Fassold, and from doing those three fights and whatnot. Several women are talking expressively at the young girl found nearly frozen to death, now called Oakfrosta. The quiet child's face expresses quiet terror, aggressively jabbing at the dirt with a stick, which she clearly used to draw on the ground. We can study her drawings. We don't need to panic. Keep her from making a scene. No. She was frozen half to death and from being chased. We can either try to talk to her or study her drawings. We're gonna study her drawings. Markings are somewhat intricate. The squares and circles could be wagons, including a depiction of yokes in front. The line from the yokes leads to deeper gouges where Oakfrost has jabbed the stick repeatedly. Depending on how you look at it, though, it could be almost anything. Let's try to talk to her. You're safe, Oakfrosta, you say, looking into the girl's blue eyes. She calms a bit before stepping towards you. Using her stick to point at the deep gouges in the ground she previously made, she whispers, "Edge, edge, edge." It doesn't mean anything to you, but you feel like you connected with her a bit. Yeah, I'm all for that. I mean, if that ever happened to my daughter or anything like that, I would hope that someone would be there to take care of her and things and try to make that connection. You don't just dismiss them. That's how bad things happen. You enter a village of miners who want to know what has been happening recently between the rumblings of the quake and sightings of dredge in the distance. As you look around, you see a lot of elderly and children, and know that these people only need more mouths to feed. No, we're saving who we can, especially with the amount of dredge and stuff coming by. Yeah, no, we'll encourage them to join us. Make a convincing argument about leaving town before the dredge sweep through, and do a fair job of convincing everyone to be completely terrified. They start packing. It remains to be seen whether you can keep them as safe as you can. 112 clansmen. Wow. Okay. We have 41 right now. That's quite a lot. Let's talk to Gunolf. Yeah, he's wearing the green, right? Don't talk much, do you? You approach the massive green-clad Jarl who is sitting quietly by himself, eating bread. So? I want to know anyone who can cleave a dredge in two like that a little bit better. I'm Rook. What to know? Ruben asked me to chop a dredge in two. I chop him. Have you traveled with Ruben for long? Yes, long time. When I was young, I fight for another Jarl. It did not work out. But I learned to swing a sword. Ruben pays well, gives me plenty of things to kill. To be honest, maybe too many things these days. You like that sword? No, I love this sword. Given to me by old Skrymir himself. When I start working for Ubin, he says, I protect the king's collection. I protect the king. Gunolf makes an expression somewhere between pain and frustration. I couldn't save it. He makes a hand motion like an object falling from a tall height and exploding. Mattered a lot at the time. I think it doesn't matter now. Skrymir is dead anyway. I'll let you finish your meal. Want to be friends with Gunolf, Rook? Pops the last hunk of bread into his mouth. Keep food in the cart. Alright, I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. I'm excited that we have Gunolf. Because, yeah, he's rank 4. Like, look at this. 18 strength. Look at that. Look at that. We have some ability to do some leveling up, and I think we should on a couple of our people. I'd like to promote Gil because we use him a lot. 2 points. I really want to go up in these. And I really want to go up with Ivor. And again, I think Ivor's one of those ones where you kind of pump up his strength as much as you can now. And has a strong arm, doesn't that make the most sense? Should we grab some more supplies? What else? What do they have here? One's of renown gets you 6. Oh wow, alright. 2 aggro, but 5% dodge strength. -1 aggro, that's kind of nice. Never deflected. Alright, we're gonna grab some supplies. Get up to 7 days, maybe? 8 days? You know what? 8 days sounds good. Because it was like a week to get there from where we were. About to 10 days. That seems better. We still have 11 renown. I think we rest once here. Morale improves a little bit. And then, because we're going to... Where are we going again? Sorry, I'm just looking at the map. Sigrholm, right? So, oh yeah, because we gotta go this way around versus going through the path. Because we were coming down this way, so we gotta go this way. So we're going to go over to Hoakstorp. Atop a high hill, Hoakstorp is named for the many hawks that circle past the tall pines and the loft they sit in that lets them see down the valley towards Boarsgard. The town has never had many residents, but has been steadily growing since helping to construct the high pass. Cool. I mean, if we just went from Skogur this way to begin with. But you never know, right? Okay, cool. Let us continue forth then. Alright. Should we buy... I think we should... I honestly think we should go back up to 10 days. There we go. It just seems like a good amount for what we need. Alright. Continuing forth. Oh, uh-oh. More music, that's not good. Look at that, shouts one of your clansmen. The caravan stops to watch dredge pooling into the village you just passed through. Uh-oh. Hope anyone who stayed behind got out alive, says Alette. But you have your doubts. They're coming, says Ivor, pointing out a line of dredge, leaving the village and marching towards you. As you watch, the dredge in front falls over, then the one behind it falls as well. You hear twang to your left. Nid, the archery student of Odd Lice, who you recall deftly shooting a snow rabbit, is firing arrows down the hill. Another dredge topples. That's incredible. Odd Lice says, squinting, but we should get out of here. Hold on, let her do a few more. The next shot bounces off dredge armor, but the one after doesn't, and the Colossus falls to a knee. Another dredge goes down before you get moving again. Why don't you come along the next time you want to try out that bow, you tell Nid, who nods with a smile on her face. Morale improved, awesome. And that should mean that we also get Nid. Nid is a very, very good archer. Ooh, Godstone? Looks like a Godstone. The sounds of a skirmish alert you to a Jarl surrounded by a half-dozen armed fighters. One man spots you and shouts, "Leave us to our business. This Jarl killed my father without reason." Jarl is about to respond when the man attacks. Brent swats the blade aside and silently watches for the next assault. Let's hear what the Jarl has to say. The Jarl shrugs as if unconcerned, saying, "This one's father and I had a business deal. He lied, now he's dead." "Lies!" shouts the man. "You murdered him over a lie, you coward!" The men wildly attack the Jarl, who deflects them well enough. You're uncertain how long you can keep it up. "Yeah, no, I'm defending that Jarl." "Ivor, we could use any Jarl with a good sword arm, can't we?" He nods, readying his weapon. The men immediately back off, the prospect of fighting your entire army suddenly unappealing. They watch from a distance, shouting obscenities and something about injustice. The Jarl turns toward you. "Didn't need your help, but if I'm going to travel, may as well be in the company of other Jarl." He falls in line with the others and you return to travel. I'm fine with that. Generally, I'm always happy to get more Jarl. Jenner. Yeah, that's a god still. Stone of Dunder passes around you, and the frozen pine sphere looks like the rock is split and falling apart. Held together only by the deep stone closely, and standing between the stones, it drops off immediately, picking up again once you pass through. I wonder if we should rest here for the night. Who knows, says Ivor, who seems to have noticed the same thing. With all the snow around, Dredge might not even be able to find us. Yeah, let's stay here overnight. You walk around camp before settling in. Along each strand of Dunder's massive beard is carved a different part of his story. And turn your head to and fro to read it. What the Moon Mother was the first to create, she soon found a counterpart in Dunder, who embodied her ideals in a masculine form. Dunder took some of her creations and gave them beards and showed them the secrets of smithing. Though many remember him just as fondly for teaching them games and songs of birth. As the camp settles in, those boys huddle around something. They see an often box carving with the box is elaborate construction of which are lumpy pieces which slide around and touch. You can't get it open. They tell you it's like a puzzle. Let's try to open it. The boys take turns working out the puzzle and give you tips when it's your turn. Though you don't seem to make much progress. Eventually, they leave to sleep, and it's just doing a couple other determined youngsters as well. Alright, that's enough fun. Generally, if you continue going down these paths, it's bad, so we'll give up and go to sleep. Instead of spending all night on, morale would have probably dropped. You go to and huddle together to keep warm. You wake up with a thought so profound it strikes you like lightning, rush with the puzzle box your fingers, moving with purpose until you hear a click. Inside is nothing. "No," says the boy who's watching. "What a waste of time. You're surprised and puzzled. Go didn't spend all night working on this. I believe that's a... yeah, puzzle box of the Twin Rivers. Alright. Ahead, you find what appears to be a good number of peasants surrounded by brigands. One of the armed men looks over his shoulders. Gods be damned, this is all I need. Listen, don't interfere with... there, and one of these supply wagons is yours. Remaining silent, the peasants plead to you with their eyes. What's going on here? I'd like to know before. Nothing concerning you, he replies, and before you start telling me otherwise, these are my clansmen. Thought they could run off with every scrap of food in the village. All I want is you to move on. So take your share or don't. No, I'm not letting brigands kill off peasants or whatnot. No, I'm going to draw my weapon. Man turns completely toward you, shaking his head. Had a feeling you'd be that type, is all he says before he rushes you. Alright, let's see if we can do this. So what is this thing? 1 will every turn, plus 3 will. That seems like an Ivan thing, but we don't need him in our party right now. No, sorry. That's actually right under the mic. It's very loud. We can take Nid. Sweet. We'll take Nid over Alette. Alette doesn't like killing humans. We can take Krumar. We can take Mogan. You know what? Let's promote Krumar since we haven't done that yet with him. Oh, we can get his breakup. He likes to break things. Awesome. Alright, I would like him to come with us then. So let's bring him instead of Hogan and Mogan. Let's do this. And Nid, we've got to give you some points in here. Let's bring up your strength, because generally archers want some really nice strength. Odd Life's still good, Rook's still good. Alright. Yeah. We have any 3s or 2s that were... yes, we have quite a few. +1 move, 10% dodge, strength, +3 will. Alright. +1 move... Ivor, that seems like something for you until you can get your belt on. And 2s. Well, we have this one. +1 will kill per kill. Nid, sure, you can take the coins. That seems alright. Let's be ready for this battle. So they've got some archers too, which, you know, I'm not, you know, too worried about. Kumar can come here, something along this line. Mid, Odd Life. So we can run up to here and not be too worried about it. Yeah, let's do this. And we'll stonewall. And just resist everything. Then Ivor can come up and just obliterate the archer. I do like the idea of coming in over here, even if it costs us a well, anything. Let's utterly destroy your armor. Just gonna shoot Gil, which should do nothing. Yeah, you can move up here, Odd Life. It's that guy. then finally this guy. Alright. Let's take out some of your armor. Because Nid, you have, what, bird of prey. Yeah, fire and arrow. So if we go here, yeah. 100% chance to hit, and you can shoot people from pretty darn far away, which is nice. Yeah, Rook, come up here. Let's take down these guys' armor. Seems like the best course of action. Gil, yeah, just put the hurt on that guy. So you can't do a whole lot to us. Well, anytime I think we can take out an archer, that's generally a good thing. Well, then let's just take him out, Kumar. Gil's probably gonna get hurt. Oh no, alright. Let's go here, and I want to try to rain at arrows right there in case he comes this way at us. Yes! We guessed correctly. Mid. Hurt that guy a bit. Hey. My Ivor. Or else he will have to hit you. Alright. Mark this guy. No, because that actually won't really do a lot. Let's break down his armor. Let's hurt him so he does less damage to us. I mean, this is the next guy that... Oh, well, I mean, hurt your own guy, sure. Why not? Alright, Ivor, let's move a little bit away from these guys. And dash way back. Kumar can come up and take that guy out. Which also did a damage to them because of sudden impact. Ooh, ouch. This guy's gonna go somewhere and hurt someone. Rook, ouch. Alright, Nid, take out this archer. I think it's Rook next. Yeah. Alright, let's mark this guy. And then Gil can hit him. And Odd Life can almost get him. Alright, Gil. Take him out. Oh, okay, that's not so bad. We don't need Ivor to get the kill, so... Just press W. Take out the armor of this guy. Nid can come up and get the kill. We're going to be using her a lot. I do like her quite a bit. So, anytime we can spread around the kills too, it's always a good thing. 9 more renown, we'll take it. With the brigands either fallen or fled, the peasants they left behind thank you profusely. It's true what he said. We took the food and left. May the gods have mercy on me. I'd let them die. They hesitantly join your caravan. I don't overly like that, but they're leaving for a reason. And 22 supplies is nice. Kind of funny though, because we're heading back towards their town. In the distance, Hoaxdorp smolders like an old campfire. Even from here you can see the black figures shambling through it. Looks like it's a dead town, remarks Ivor, confirming your impressions. There's usually survivors, Odd Life reminds you. Yep, let's check it out just in case. I hope others would do the same for me. Dredger nothing we haven't faced before. Ivor grunts but otherwise says nothing. Besides, it might throw Bellower off a scent a bit. You head a day's march out towards Hawkstorp. As soon as you step foot in the small town, you think you've made a mistake. It's thoroughly littered with corpses. Within moments, the dredger upon you as though you stirred up an angry hornet's nest. You draw your weapons. Alright. Apparently we talked to Nid. How much renown do we have here now? So, we have 18. Alright. So I don't really want to promote anyone, especially if we need to buy supplies or anything. We can always promote after this. I think we bring up Gunolf instead of Ivor, since Ivor can be promoted. Yeah, just that attack is going to be extremely good for us for this, especially if he can Tempest. Do we take Alette, Odd Life, or Nid? Let's go with Nid still. Rook is still really good for marking prey and hopefully killing people, and Gill's our tank. I do like Gill quite a bit. Oh. Okay. Interesting. So these are slingers and grunts. Okay, well let's put the archers to attack in places they can attack the slingers. Preferably these two slingers, because these are like the stone ones, right? Rook. Yeah, something like this, because you can just mark right away. Gil. Gunolf, come over here, because you might just be able to one-shot KO this guy if you go fast enough. Something like this. Gil, you can be next to Rook to give him some armor and whatnot. So let's just hit him. Make him move around. Why, we should have looked at where everyone is in the order. Yeah. So good. Ow. That's my Nid. Alright. Break down your armor so Nid can destroy you. Oh, right, we weren't gonna do that. Oh, you know what? Now Rook can come here and hit them, and they both can do their thing. You guys walk around a bit. Mark prey. Nice. Alright, Gil. Get right up in here. Stonewall. Yeah, you're just gonna go after Nid, aren't you? Like, I'm not really worried about this guy. Well, he'd be promoted to the highest rank now, so I guess that's good. Mark can take that guy mostly out. Are you gonna take out Nid? Good. We should actually should have prayed. Bird of prey instead. Right. Uh-oh. Well, Nid might be getting knocked out. Let's move up here. Bird of prey, that guy. Oh, the archers couldn't hit him. Too bad. I'd love if you got hit and got pushed back that way somewhere. No, not straight there. Bye-bye, Nid. Oh, Nid is okay. We do need to do the killing. So, well, now she's down. That's less good. Yeah. Forge ahead, young one. Don't mind Gil getting the go here. Alright, Rook. Hurt this guy. Let's see if we can give Gil, Gil and, well, really, who else? I could Tempest them all, but I don't really want to, so... No one else is in danger of being knocked out, so... We're okay here. We have Peter around, right? That's not good. I should look at this horn, too. Yeah, come here, take out this guy. Since you do 4 damage anyways. And Odd Life can get that one. There we go. Victory! Gunolf is ready for promotion. So is Krumar. Nice. Nid's injured. That's okay. Alright, 9 more renown. The town is nothing but ghosts, now covered in more dread bodies too. Remarkably, as you're about to leave, you find an old man sitting quietly in a tattered market stall with a couple items in front of him. He hums to himself as if nothing were wrong and seems to be in shock. Clansmen gather him into the caravan before you leave. Alright. Nid. We just kind of killed you, but it's okay. Don't know if we've ever spoken. I'm Nid. You're Rook, I know. We've actually been traveling together for a long time. Isn't it strange how you can be so close to people and not know them? Every day I pass people I swear I've never seen before. I want to thank you for letting me join you. Where are you from? I don't think you're from Skoger. I knew most people there. You know, I had a house in Frostfeller, but we were driven out when the dredge started to show up. My husband died trying to protect our home. My sons and I were thrown out into the fields. I'm sorry. Eckel's men killed my husband. When we left, I was angry. Why was I the one who had to leave their home? How did I deserve this? Look away momentarily, not sure what to say, but I've let it go. I have 3 sons, and I don't want them to grow up with hatred in their hearts. That's why I wanted to thank you. Have you always been a good shot? Honestly, I've never even tried before Odd Life made me. I spent my whole life making clothes, cleaning. Odd Life's good, but I don't think it was all her doing. Feels right, and just look where I want it to go. Anyway, I feel better. The caravan, the people worrying all day and making problems. Sometimes they really stew in misery. I'm glad I can do something helpful. You're welcome. I should be going. Don't think anything of it. We all have our own problems to deal with. Let me know if you need me to put an arrow in something. She returns to her tent, where her boys are awaiting her. Alright, there's a market here. 1 renown gets 10. I mean, that seems like something we should do. +1 will, 10% crit chance, never deflect. Okay, yeah, so we've seen all those items. Not too worried about that. Oh, we rested once to improve our weak morale. Let's rest once more, because we were pretty low on that. We have 22 renowns. We could upgrade, but I'm not really looking to do that right now. Alright, let's head on out. Nothing else to do here. More music. Alright, that means something neat's gonna happen again. Well-tended farm with plenty of livestock draws the caravan's attention, and upon your arrival, the farmer and his workers stand defensively within plain sight, crude weapons at the ready. Their crossed arms make their thoughts clear without a word. Offer some kind of trade for their livestock and intimidate them. And with us, it's not safe here. I'm tempted to do that. Or offer with us, it's not safe here. You warn the farmer of the approaching dredge. Man spits and says, "This is my life. Or this land is my life. I lose that, may as well be dead." Yeah, the farmhands fully nod in agreement, either joining you or lowering their weapons. Alright, well, then we'll leave you and be on your way. What's his is his, you say to the caravan. No sense fighting those trying to protect themselves. Grumbling bounces around through the clansmen, but the caravan is once again moving, so probably, yeah, lower morale, but, I mean, we're not just gonna steal things from people, for the most part. I've got somewhat of a conscience. We're at another godstone. Oh. I didn't even notice it on the map. Trees and whatnot. Ingrid? Aha! The godstone for Ingrid, goddess of knowledge, looks on his caravan and takes a much needed rest. Ivor shoos some children away from the solitary dredge slinger lying dead beneath the stone. Should we be worried about that, you ask Ivor, pointing to the dredge body? I don't think so. Still couldn't hurt to have a few guards look around, inspect the godstone. Ingrid's godstone is carved with ancient runes which don't make much sense to you, though Ivan tells you some of the menders have deciphered them. It's how the menders learned the language of the gods. Past the largest stone, a long series of slabs contain more writing all the way down the hill. The odd thing, he tells you, is that the writing occasionally changes depending on who is reading it. Usually it describes the history of the gods, but it can be about nearly any topic. Sadly, Ivan doesn't know how to read it himself. Juno could, he says. Let's pack up and move on. As you're readying to depart, you hear screams from near the main godstone. The same boys so curious about the dead dredge before you are shaking and pointing. For a moment you think it must have been dead, but then you see that they have opened a wrapping and that was in the dredge's hand. Wait, says Ivor, his arm across her chest. This shouldn't be seen. Get everyone away. Chill sweeps over you. Alette pushes past and gas stops, shouts Ivor. But the curious onlookers have already seen it. Leave it. On the ground before the dead slinger is a small stony figure, its hands searching for something it can't find. That's a baby. That dredge is a woman? We've been killing women. We've been slaughtering women and children this whole time? Leaving them to die? In a war, it's only the males who fight. We've been fighting these dredge the whole way. Why are women and children on their backs attacking us? They're not invading, they're running. Everyone stops dead in their tracks. The entire caravan is gathered around, aghast. When I spoke to Juno, she told me something was coming. She didn't know what. A darkness, something black, is covering the world, and the dredge are running from it, just as we're running from them. The serpent, the quake, it's all the beginning of the end. Ivor, he knew. Why? Why didn't you say something? Ivor? When I was young, I killed one of the Sunder during the Second Great War. We called it Raise. Every time we would build our defense, it would flatten them and push us back again. I became separated from the rest of the Jarl and stumbled upon Raise deep in a snowstorm, alone. She was nursing. I threw my axe, it twisted in the wind, her son died in her arms. She was so pathetic, kneeling in the snow. Didn't even try to stop me when I took her head. That's how I killed a Sunder. When I found my way to Grofheim, the Jarl wanted to make me Kender, next to be king. I left, walked until I ended up in Skoger, where no one knew what I had done. The only sound is the wind blowing through the trees. It's crazy. For a long time, nobody says a thing until a child breaks the silence. What do we do with the baby? She asks. A lump forms in your throat, looking at the small, upsetting creature squirming before you. Put it to a vote? Heck no. Insist on taking it with the caravan. Insist on leaving it behind. Stay out of this one. Yeah. We're insist on taking it with the caravan. You argue strongly for showing mercy and humanity. Some of the women in the caravan hesitantly agree to take in the dredge infant, while others are furious about bringing it along. Not long afterward, one of the women comes to you. It's swaddling, was being held by this. She says, giving you a hairpin that looks distinctly undredge-like. An inscription of the silver almost slips your notice. Persevere. From the goddess herself, if you ask me, the woman tells you. Bad run, silver brooch. Yeah, no, we're not gonna kill children, even if they are dredge. You're making the usual rounds when you hear a rather loud debate coming from an area that Jarl have gathered. Ivor joins you as you approach. Ubin, you'd rather be known for falling asleep and dying in the corner of the meat house than battling asunder? No, I'd rather be known for not dying. Don't even know what you're worried about. I did this 100 times in the years Great Wars. Take some warriors, plow head first in the dredge, they follow you into the hills, get lost, now they're not following you. When you did this 100 times, did they have Bellower leading them? Have you never heard about the time I hit Bellower in the head with a throwing axe? Both Jarls halt their debate when they suddenly notice you watching. Don't stop on my account. Careful, my friend, a lot of old history getting thrown around here. The warriors were just noting that there's a damn good number of dredge on our asses, Bellower pulling up the rear. This one thinks he can just wander up there and throw them off our tracks. How about some gratitude? Thought you'd be happy to finally be the oldest Jarl in the land, Ubin. I'm never happy to lose more Jarl, Krumer. Besides, I'm not convinced you're really older than me. Besides, oh right, I'll leave it to you. Old rivalry you've got? Comments like that remind me I've already wasted too much time doing nothing. In the old days, I'd already be halfway to the battlefield by now. Speaking of which, you coming, Ingvar? Could ask Bellower for your arm back. Don't think so. Not exactly in the mood right now. Alright then, I'll tell Hardberg you said hello. Krumar and a good many Jarl warriors head out toward the growing army of Dredge. Is he going to come back? He always has before. That's a little ominous. But this time feels different, I fear. That is also ominous. Ubin. hopefully they join back with us once we get through the forest here. Stop! A resolute voice calls from somewhere in front of you. The surrounding terrain comes alive with armed fighters surrounding the caravan. Sorry, just stretching. No need for bloodshed, the leader says. Leave a couple wagons, pretend you never even stopped here. Inform them about the coming dredge. I'm guessing you have no idea that the dredge are on their way. If that's the case, friend, says their leader, we need supplies more than ever. Without even a glance to his men, the attack begins. Alright. Well then. Let's just go beat him up. Oh no. All of our guys are gone. That's no good. Nid's already in there. Gunolf, Oddlife, Nid. Let's bring Mogan this time up in here. Again, if we're fighting humans, we don't really want those things. Never deflected. 10% crit chance. I mean, 10% crit chance seems pretty nice. 3 break. Ooh. 3 will. 1 strength resist. Well, that's actually really nice. I can't promote you right now. But we will give you just the one that gives you extra will. There we go. And everyone else is pretty good here. We're bringing Mogan instead of Hogan this time. Yeah, let's get ready. Alright, they have a Bowmaster Veteran, so this one needs to get destroyed, and so does Bowmaster. Okay, we want to bring our archers somewhere over here. Gunolf can be over there, Gil here, and I guess like Rook can be there. Something along the lines of this. I want to be out of range of this guy so he can't reach us. Yeah, let's break this guy's armor. Hopefully we can just take him out pretty good. Oh, that's our guy. Oh, that's... Oh, man. My bad. I guess he's going for that archer. Whoopsie. My bad. I didn't think about that, to be perfectly honest. Want to hurt these guys so that they don't really do anything to Nid here. Ooh, Gil, you're getting tough. Yeah, drop back here. Really take out this guy's armor. You're gonna take a big hit. Yeah, come up here. Let's mark him and have the archers deal with you. Gil can come up in here and just stonewall. This guy's nowhere near us. And that's okay because Gunolf can just come over here and smack him so he can't do anything to us. This is probably gonna hurt him a little bit. Gonna hurt more though. Yeah. Let's just take him out so he can't come down here and get Nid. take out the archer, I guess. Nice. You're gonna hurt me. Are you worried about you though? Let's break down your armor. Oh, you're going for it too. Yeah, Gunolf, we don't really need you to do too much to these guys. Now you can just break armor. Which is totally fine. Look at you going for a kill. Yeah, let's go behind here so he has a really hard time getting to us. This is 0 seconds. Or I'm hot. I thought I was going to. Is that gonna... That's only 1 damage. Who's up now, Rook? Take that out, Gil can get the kill. It's almost fine with Gil getting that. Alright. Even better. Ooh, we're almost there. Gather around, doubters, echoes a shout in the distance as Krumar and his band of warriors break through nearby foliage, and behold the invincible Jarl. Oh, Krumar. The caravan is thrilled to see Krumar return safely. The plan worked. 36? Killed a couple. Work, responds Krumar. Of course it worked. Same old dredge. Should be another day or two at least before they even find their own asses. 20 renown? Nice. And if you apologize, I'll tell you how I found these. Tosses you a pair of leather gloves that look big enough for a Jarl. He leans in close, whispering so Ubin can't hear. Had something to do with a raven's nest and a hair tie. Dunder's hand. Interesting. It's an interesting place.
As Sigrholm approaches, we fear the worst. The once calm lake surrounding it now looks like a bowl that has been flipped. Proud homes sinking into muddy water. A side effect of the quake.
I see.
What has the rest of the world become on the other side of those mountains?
So no longer is this city in the hills. Now it is in the water. That's not good. The art of this game is so nice. One catastrophe to another, says Oddlife as you pull into Sigrholm. The town appears to be sinking down into the lake. The townspeople peek from dark windows and makeshift hovels further up the hill. No, says Ivan, looking frantic. Where is she? Runs to the front of the caravan, looking out over the water. Juno isn't here to get the creeping going. You're not well behind. Going upriver looks out of the question. The beach is bare. Aside from the occasional skeleton of a ruined fishing boat, they set up camp in the sinking town. Good. Yeah, alright. All I'm saying is, how long are you willing to wait? While taking stock, while taking stock of the caravan, you inadvertently walked into debate between Oddlife and Ivan. As long as we need to. And I think we need to get out of here. I don't feel good about this place. Why? What's wrong? Something doesn't feel right. The people here are staring at us like vultures in the wastes. I'm sorry, Ivan. I think Oddlife is right. I saw a man the whole time we were setting up, just watching me in a creepy way. And how long before the dredge find us here? Juno will come. Give it a little time. Rook, listen to me. I need you to trust me on this. I don't know if I'm going to. Alright, well, I mean, we can take a quick look at a few things, but first we'll talk to Ivan. You're really worried about her, aren't you? What? Oh, Juno, worry doesn't begin to describe it. If she does, doesn't find us here, or something has happened to her. Are you sure what you saw was real? Could have been a dream, or, I don't know, you're pretty exhausted. I don't know, to be honest. I'm not sure anymore. Everything is a blur. Don't tell the others I said that. I have to hope it wasn't just a dream. What's it like to be a mender? I guess I never really thought about it like that. It's just part of me. I knew very young I would join the order. Born into it, you could say. My mother and father, both menders. The guild is for lots of people now. Builders and healers. Do they all pull lightning out of the sky? No, that's not normal. It's one of the reasons I know Juno. She's one of the council. She helps me control things like this, so we don't end up scaring people. How exactly does weaving work? Well, the hardest part is usually seeing the threads. Everything is part of the tapestry. It's made of threads woven together. If you can see the threads, you can manipulate them. I don't know how to explain it, really. It's like just trying to play a harp with invisible strings. Look at my staff, for example. Some menders carve intricate patterns in the wood to help them remember the shapes of, like I said, hard to explain. Why is Bellower still following us? I saw Grofheim as it burned. Ivan gets a faraway look in his eye. The thunder blew through it like a tempest. The Jarl fell in the thousands. Most of the thunder left the city and headed south. Who knows where they are now? They might be destroying every town they come to, or heading toward Arborang. Bellower stayed in Grofheim just for the sport of it, I think. As we fled to Ironloft, I thought he must want to wipe the Jarl off the map completely. But then he came after us. Maybe he knew Ivor was the one who killed Reyes. Maybe, but let's just make sure he doesn't catch up. You're not telling us some stuff. Do you think this is the end of times? I don't know what to think. I wish I could give you a better answer. Even if we escape the dredge, that serpent said darkness was covering the world. I don't know how long that will take. What he means, even. I'm just trying to solve one problem at a time. The Menders are in Arborang, and if we can find ships and make it to the capital, we might have a chance. It won't take any more time. No, it's okay, Rook. Appreciate the talk. It's good to stay grounded. I spend all day worrying about the serpents or Sunder. I think a lot of people are intimidated, or scared, maybe, of me. Don't worry, it's nothing new. I'm used to it. Maybe sometime we can talk about things that don't include the world ending. Alright, so we can do a few things here. So first off, let's check out the market. 1 renown gets 3, so we're not buying anything here. But we have lightning, runestone, nope. Padded undercoat, just +1 armor. Not exactly a bad thing. And +2 will. Only cost 1 renown. Not too worried about that. Since that's the case, I think we can take a look at some of our heroes now and decide to bump up their stats a little bit. These 2s should become 3s. We use Odd Life, so let's give her a promotion. And I would like her break. Maybe her armor break and this one should go up a bit. I think both of those things are good. Should get promoted again. We're not going to. Rook probably should get his 3rd promotion. Again, I think if we do that and increase his strength a little bit more is good. We have Hogan and Mogan and Krumar. I'm all for Krumar getting another promotion. We tend to use him a good amount. Let's do that. Double up his armor and strength. And let's leave it there. Keep some renown in the bank. Do we rest here one day and then head out? Probably. Let's see if Juno shows up. A scuffle is broken out in front of the houses. Thieves shouts one of your people as a group of strangers flee from your camp. Oddlife is already running their direction. They took our supplies, you hear from nearby. Ah, man. That's... yeah, I'm not... I don't like this. Let's, let's try to talk it out with the locals, I guess, and figure out what's going on. -5 supplies. You wander onto a beach where some men have been waiting for you. Some terse words are exchanged about whether anything had been stolen or not. You don't see who draws their weapon first, but it stops the conversation cold. You know who draws the weapon first? Gunolf does. We've got Hogan. We've got Mogan in here. Who would we have taken with us to this? Let's bring in Ivor. Actually, you know what? Not Ivor. Let's bring Krumar in here. Get some more of these people to get ready for promotions at the very least. Alright. So they've got a lot more people on this side than this side. I'm not too worried about these guys. Yeah. Let's put like Rook up here. Krumar can be here. Gil. Mogan. Let's... something along that line. Get all up in their faces, Gil. They're gonna come this way. Oh, he can actually reach us. I'm extremely surprised about that. Well, Krumar, destroy his armor so we can just destroy him. That's how I feel about that. There, now he's not a threat. And really, that's all that matters. And then we can shoot this guy. Take down his armor a little bit. You guys and your wanting to take her out. I don't like that. They should get her that promotion, right? No, she's got to get more kills, eh? Uh-oh. Oh, we go with Rook. That's fine. Rook's gonna come over here. Mark Prey. Oh, it's only her that gets the shot. Darn. I thought we had, I thought we had that guy too. We can go right here. Might as well hit this one. Yeah, let's take down your armor here, bud. That guy's not a threat anymore at all. Let's move here so this guy can't come around and get in there. These guys do so much movement. It's ridiculous. Oddlife is up next. Let's take out that guy's armor as much as we can. Like that guy just to be dead, and it getting the kill is a very good thing. Mark the prey. And 2 archers get some shots here, which actually isn't that much damage. That's not really that good. Alright, Gil, come in here and just hit that guy hard. Trumar's down. That's okay, because so is that guy. Alright, we're taking a few more extra shots than probably wanted. This guy's gonna go after mid, isn't he? Oh no, he's not. Yeah, you know what? Let's come up here. Mark the prey again. Oh, one left. Let's go take out the archer. Nice skill. Good job, everybody. Nid can get the kill there. Going well. Another thing that you get fun on now if we need to instead of odd life. Ivor being hurt though is less good. Or Krumar, sorry. I guess it's only Krumar. He was tired from his big battle that he just had. 9 more renown, we'll take it. Thieves scatter pretty quickly when you start laying into them, but when you return the caravan, you discover why even more supplies have gone missing since you rushed out to fight. Ouch. Yeah, no, we're leaving. Rook, wait, please, Ivan begs. She said she'd be here. We need her. Tell he's terrified of leaving, as though he'd be giving up on Juno. No, I'm sure she'll catch up with us. Ivan looks out across the lake with a 1,000-mile stare. He says nothing. We've got problems, says Ivor. The whole place is flooded. We could try to walk the muddy parts. But it'll be slow going. We could try to float the caravan over the lake, but we might tip or get stuck. We just go around the whole thing, but no idea how long that'll take. What do you think? So we can attempt to ford the river. We can caulk the wagons and float across caulk. We can pay the locals to help. Detour around the flooding. Pay some locals to help us? I don't really want to give them anything if they're being jerks about it. Why don't we just attempt to ford the river? You pack everything up and take as much weight off the wagons as you can. Soon you're walking through ankle-deep water and thick mud, hoping the rest of the caravan can hold out. The footing is sticky and slow, but the water isn't too deep outside the town. It takes a while, but you manage to cross the enormous mud pit outside of Sigrholm with an intact, if not cranky, caravan of people. -18 supplies, eh? Hey, we did it. Hey, there's all our food. That's not good. Well, this is... yeah. I'm hoping we get to another town soon. -1 supply. Uh-oh. We're starting to lose some clansmen in Yarrow for starving. I have a feeling we're going to hit a event here. That seemed like a event place, eh? And we're going to lose a few more here. Uh-oh. A woman's... oh. Jeez. A woman's stifled scream fails to overly concern anyone. It's only a matter of time before the expected mother gave birth. Oh. Caravan is simply excited by this first sign of new life since the trip event began. Call for a day of rest and celebration? Give them extra rations as gift. Yes! Here's some extra rations. Let's celebrate. When the baby's cries replace the mother's, the entire caravan cheers. You raise your drink to the family, saying, "Tomorrow we rest and feast and strengthen long life." Again, everyone cheers, glad to forget their worries. Good, because we have no supplies. Oh boy. We, morale is just done. I don't know if I've ever had, this much bad luck with supplies. Up ahead, a scout shouts some giant hall, but it's empty. You approach the structure, recognize none of its marking. The walls seem unsteady at best. Finally, sleeping beneath a roof. Oh dear. You overhear several families begin unpacking. We sleep in comfort tonight. Carry everyone back until you're certain it's safe. It was abandoned for a reason. Look for any clues why it was abandoned. Yeah, let's keep everyone back until we're certain it's safe. Several volunteers search the buildings with weapons drawn as just announced and all clear. Yarl leans up against the supports, which give way and a third of the structure crumbles. Luckily, no one was injured, but you leave the crumbly building behind. Yeah, see, I'm all for that. And oh boy, poor morale. Can we lose the game if our morale and everything is done? It looks like there's a village here, so we're gonna need some supplies. Desperately. Please, before the day hits. Oh, thank goodness. Whew. The villagers here are completely oblivious to the destruction that's coming. All we've seen is some dark figures far off, they tell you. Aside from a few young families, they're reluctant to pick up their things and join you. That's okay. Marketplace, please. 1 renown gets you 5 supplies. So +2 will, +2 aggro, 5% dodge, 2 on arrest. We need supplies. Then we need to desperately rest a couple days. Get that morale back up. There we go. And there we go. 7 days worth. I mean, I'm not a big fan of having to buy supplies, but that was insane. There's no one to talk to here. Hero-wise, I mean, we've got a good amount of renown kind of holding up on it, so we're just gonna head on out. Nice little nothing. Nice little nothing town, basically, is what that was. Looks like another godstone up here. Trail of blood leads to a clearing. You find a large wounded Jarl. He is gnawing on his shield, swearing at no one in particular, and occasionally slamming his cudgel on the ground. If not for the heavy bleeding, you'd leave this one alone without a second thought. Yeah, we can help you if you want it. Heartbeat, the Jarl was on his feet, swinging this massive weapon. He jumped clear as the cudgel smashes the trunk of the tree. Your party scatters to avoid the falling timber. Once you recover, the Jarl is long gone, leaving only another trail of blood, which you decide against following this time. Alright. While walking, the words of a mother's song reach you. It's soothing, nuanced, and about your current journey. When she finishes, a man begins a tale of his own verse. The woman quickly responds with another poem, and the entire caravan slows to listen to the entertaining competition. Join the crowd and cheer them on. You need to stay vigilant. Keep an ear out for danger. Join the crowd and cheer on the competitors. The man's response is an upbeat poem which questions the mother's cooking. The caravan explodes with laughter, and the contestant continue amicably for another hour or so. You hear snippets of poems along the trail the rest of the day, words changing slightly each time. All for that. Didn't take much time, and get some improved morale. Sometimes that's a good thing to have. Yeah, another godstone. Here we are. The imposing godson of Bjorulf approaches. His severe visage makes it feel like he's watching you even now. The caravan spreads out, happy to be free of the confining force in an open field. Hogan pulls you aside to show you some red berries growing on an ash tree that looked like it was chopped down long ago. You shouldn't be growing here, he says excitedly. It was in a long time. He and Hogan busily go about collecting the berries. In fact, in honor of Bjorulf, some of the caravan crack kegs of mead and wine before anyone can stop them. The only god that matters, they shout. Everybody drinks, and you're glad for the merriment that has swept over the caravan. Do we join them in collecting berries, or do we inspect the gods? I always like inspecting the godstones. That's usually always a good thing to do. So, we can still do the other things, so that's even better. You look up at the godstone. Bjorulf's head surrounded by images of casts and drinking horns. Though he was always depicted as being stern, he was one of the most popular gods men in Jarl, the one who taught them how to brew. Why? It seems like more than coincidence that the long fields around Bjorulf's stones have always been excellent for growing anything you could need for a good drink. Well, let's join Hogan in collecting berries then. What exactly are these, you ask Hogan? I would travel to Ballsgard with my father. Sometimes he'd buy us a few of these, Hogan replies. Couldn't be a luckier find. See for yourself. You try one and can feel energy returning to your tired limbs. Not taking a few more would be a wasted opportunity, you figure. As the hour becomes late, the caravan is eventually ready to get back on the road. The day of Bjorulf's stone is one of the few memories that hasn't been tarnished by the specter of bad fortune, you think to yourself. Tistleberry. Neat. You know, I think we saw one of those in the marketplace, so feeling it's probably not that great, but you know what? The more items, the better. Always put them on people who don't have them, right? Morale declined. Rainvik. Alright. A flurry of snowfall seems to come out of nowhere and quickly thickens until you're unable to see the man in front of you. You shout at a complete halt, but the screaming winds drown out the sound. A day passes before the blizzard abates and the clansmen start to reappear from the snowdrifts. It becomes apparent that not everybody is here where you last saw them, and a quick search of the area is not enough to recover all the missing clansmen. No, we're definitely not doing these. Make a thorough search for the lost clansmen. We're not leaving people behind. Takes time to establish proper search terms, but you devise a way to quickly cover as much ground as possible. After a full day of searching, you find many survivors, but your success dampened by a number of frozen bodies and others who have simply vanished. Disheartened, return to travel. Find supplies. 21 clansmen.
Rainvik is more of a smattering of farmhouses than a proper town. Though judging by stray dredge stalking through empty fields, it is barely even that anymore.
That morale. They're about to get into a town. Rainvik comes and goes as a long series of farmhouses, abandoned and crawling with dredge. Great. Farmers have probably already fled to Borsgard. You try to hurry past, but are eventually spotted. Dredgers start ambling in your direction. What is that? Points out Oddlife up near one of the longhouses. In the distance, a large person, clothes seemingly covered in blood, is cursing loudly and stumbling about. He staggers into a longhouse, laughing. Dredge, heading your direction, turn back, roaring, and begin pounding on the longhouse door. They seem to be holding a grudge against this particular person. You doubt the door will hold long. Well, let's rush to help. Not even reading the other ones, that just seems like a good thing. Against my better judgment, we should probably do something, you say. The others agree, even though it means putting them all at risk. As you quietly approach, the dredge have managed to splinter the door and break through. Hey! Shouts a Jarl wearing all red, standing on the other side. Do you know this one? He looks very familiar. Came all the way up here just for me. He seems unconcerned about the dredge as he hoists his sword. Oh, he just has the exact same look as Gunolf. Sigborn, eh? Ooh, scarlet feather. +2 movement, -1 aggro. Wow. Alright, cool. Warhawk, that means he's a Tempest guy. Cool. Yeah, we'll take you. Put you... Yes. Oh, right. I have to put everyone else in first. We're going up against Dredge. Let's bring a Let. Nid. Some Rook. And... we can bring Ivor too. Why not? Seems like a good party to have, right? Yeah, let's do that. Oh, interesting layout. Okay, so these guys are, yeah, big attackers, slingers, whatnot. Ivor, yeah, come over here too. Gil can be up here and just run into there. Actually, he should be right there, so he can run straight and do his stone thing. Let's put the archers down that way. Yeah, get up in their business and just block as much damage as we can. Well, you know, we've got this Tempest thing, we might as well use it. Oh, that felt grand. Dodge! Good job. Yeah, Nid, just take out that guy. The less slingers we have, the better. Oh wait, no, that's a Let, sorry. Come up here, take out that guy, Nid. Rook. Well, let's move you here first, and then we'll mark. Maybe we should have a bit more stuff first. Let's move here, and we'll stonewall again. I mean... Oh, we can't Tempest now. Alright, well, let's get away from that as much as we can and just hit this guy. Ivor's up now. Let's move up to here and smack him. Whew. That was a lot of damage everywhere. Stop attacking my Rook, please. Let. I'm gonna break this guy's armor because we want to make it come in and do some damage to that guy. Ooh. Rough. Well, that's not the worst thing in the world. Here, let's mark you. Take out all your guys' stuff because both the archers are killed. Nice. Let's take out your armor as much as we can, and if we're ready, we can move you back. Rook now. God. Move far. I mean, if he doesn't get hurt, that would be, or doesn't get knocked out, that'd be ideal. pillage, and he's gonna hit kill again, which is less than ideal. Oh, we should have moved out of the way of that. Mark the prey. Oh, nice. Without those exploding even better. No one got knocked out, so we're all good. 9 more renown. Nice. Welcome to my mead house, Sigborn's House of Mead. Wasn't expecting a Jarl this far south, or this drunk. I can see that. There are people huddled in the corners of the mead hall looking on with uneasiness. Who are all these? Who are you people? Oh no, they're friends. They made this place. It's not really mine. We lure Dredge back to a room full of unarmed people? What's wrong with you? Come on, I saved everyone in here. They shared some fine drink. The best drink. Wait, I was saving you. Remember that part? If you knew you'd come up here, you could have told me. What do we do with this guy? Anyone here is welcome to join us. Townspeople show a huge stock of barrels filled with quality meat and help you haul them back to the caravan. I'll miss this place. Good memories. 20 supplies, 10 renown? Heck yeah. With some help, you gather casks of mead and head back to the caravan. Sigrholm and the other survivors in tow. The caravan gives the boisterous Jarl a large berth as they set out to Bosgard. Can we look at a map? How far away is Bosgard? If that's where we're... Oh, geez, we're like right there. Okay. Well, continuing forth then. Wish I could kind of like view ahead. I don't really want to stop and camp because then we'll be out of supplies again. But it would increase our morale. Oh, what did I do? Sigrholm wakes up in a pool of his own sickness. Gross. Why am I surrounded by small people? The other clansmen let him sleep off his drunken stupor on the ground, and this morning he's paying the price. Yeah, help him recover. Luckily, your clansmen offer food and drink. They can scrounge together for the morning Jarl. You know, one offers thin mead. He pushes it away. In fact, you take this away from me, he says, handing you his massive mead stein. Eventually, he comes to you. Won't get into details. I was supposed to bring those casks from Revnip to Bosgard. I drank maybe half, by accident. Point is, you don't tell anybody what happened, and I won't tell anyone about the mead you got, okay? Trust me on this one. You agree, and back to travel. Yours, blessing. Cool. Blue it. It's always nice. Ugh. Bad morale again. We were so close though. I thought we were going to be there within like a day or two. Thieving bastards, you awakened to hear. The small band of outlaws who had previously joined the caravan made off with a substantial number of supplies while everyone slept. Which one tells you why in depths were they allowed to join us to begin with? Really? That's why we're supposed to watch them. How come my people aren't watching? Oh, is this it? Are we here? What's that? I don't know what that is. Notice most of the Jarl pacing while others sleep. Their brief conversations with each other and other clansmen grow shorter and sharper. Go away, roars another. And a young girl asking him too many questions. All the clansmen stop and stare. Break the tension by making a joke. That doesn't seem like a good thing. Send them ahead in the caravan to put some space between us. I'm impressed you've kept it together this long. What's wrong with you? Let's send them ahead. Just to create a little bit of that space. We could all use a bit of space to stretch, you say to the giant. Why don't you and the others take the lead, set the pace, and we'll follow. He looks at you, nods, and appreciates the graceful compromise. The giant explains, we live in the north for space. Endless miles of snow, ice, mountains, fields, space to be alone. But here there's no time for such things. Understanding slowly trickles through the caravan, relieving some of the tension. Woohoo! Improved morale. Oh, we were so close, but unfortunately I don't think we're going to get there by the time.
Cliffs, the sprawl of Bosgard comes into view. A city of contrasting rich and poor, opportunity and gamble. Our best hope for salvation, or our graves.
That's not ominous. Chapter 7, The Slayer and the Slain. Alright, well, looks like that's going to be it for this one. Holy moly, that took a toll on our supplies. Oh, and our morale to boot. So, but thanks again for watching. Hope you guys are enjoying playing through the Banner Saga. I missed this game. It's been a long time since I played it, so it's nice to get back into it. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you then. Bye.